Welcome to the Ultimate Affiliate Marketing Podcast, where we help affiliate marketers like you get the knowledge and skills to build a successful affiliate marketing business online. Listen along as we bring together some of the greatest minds in affiliate marketing, helping you get better results today. My name is Paul Motley, and welcome to Ultimate Affiliate Marketing. Welcome back, everybody. Now, my next guest was Tony Robbins, former #1 national trainer, and has trained over 3,000 different companies. With his training, many of those went on to earn millions in additional revenue. Even after 25 years in the industry, his passion for helping others achieve success and momentum in their businesses is still very clear for everyone to see. He is a speaker, an author, a coach, a business strategist, and a seminar leader. Today, it's my pleasure to give you Brett Figueroa. Hey Brett, it's great to have you on, man. Are you doing it good?
Doing amazing. Thank you, Paul.
I super appreciate you coming on. I know it's like incredibly early for you. Is this like a regular thing? You'd sort of like get up at a crazy
It's 3:23 a.m. It's on more of the late side than the early side.
Okay. All right. So what's the sort of like the motivation between like getting up so early? Do you just like love the day and you just want to get as much done as possible, or are you just like
No, I hate getting up early. It sucks.
Okay, but you still do it, right?
I do it because it's what's the right thing to do.
Okay, cool.
But I don't do it because I love it. I don't do it because I can't wait to start the day. I don't do it because I got so much to do. I do it because it's the right thing to do. And I think that when people are in life, especially in today's world, that you do what you need to do and not what's convenient to do. I think too many people do what's convenient and not what's right. And I think that in the world that we live in with such demands, high demands, not little demands, high demands, that people have got to do what they need to do during these times.
Yeah, I totally get that, man. So, I mean, just to give us like a snapshot so people can understand, obviously, because by doing that, you've got way more hours in the day to get things done. What's the sort of like your regular sort of routine during the day? What do you tend to like to get done?
I do calls. I create products. I create products. You can't see me. I'm in my studio right now, in my home. And so during the day, I create audio products, because I create audio products and I do coaching because I don't know how to really do anything else. So I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to clean. I don't know how to build fences. I don't know how to build a car. I don't know how to do anything. I just know how to do what I do. And I've been fortunate to have been doing it for the past 25 plus years. So with what it is that I do, I do it in such a way throughout the day that can impact people's lives. Like I say, especially in today's world, because, you know, the world we live in today is a different world than you and I lived in back just, months ago, not even years ago, just months ago. And so as I go through the work and as I go through emails, and as I go through text messaging and what else would you go through? Whatever other kind of information we might take in. But I see that people right now are going through very difficult times, and many of them are very suicidal, and many of them are going through drug abuse, alcohol abuse, divorce, domestic violence, unemployment, job layoffs, just a whole plethora of things that people are going through. And, if I was a mechanic and there were a bunch of people that had their cars all broken down, I would feel and have a due diligence and a responsibility and an obligation to help fix those cars, the same way as if I was a doctor to go to Africa and I see people with malaria and AIDS and I have the ability to help them, and I'm sitting in my hotel room watching Netflix, that's just irresponsible. So I like to do what's more responsible in that sense to help where I can. And that's all I can. I can't help with cars.
No, yeah, me and you the same. I mean, I can fill my own gas. I can, check the tires and that sort of thing. I can keep the wheels moving. That's normally about the length of my experience as far as like with cars and stuff goes, but that's cool. So when you're talking about helping people, I mean, what's sort of like your unique sort of like, what would you say is your unique way of doing that? How would you sort of like get around to helping people?
Well, I've been helping people for 25 years now in the best way that I can. And as you know, I worked with Tony Robbins, and I started with Tony Robbins back in 1995, and I started at $7.50 an hour. And I really sucked, and they kept wanting to fire me all the time. But, I get to help people with areas of their life that's not working. It's like if a car's not working, if your blinker's not working, maybe I can fix your blinker. Maybe I can't fix your tire. Like I know how to fix blinkers, but not tires. Like with humans, I get an opportunity to help them fix their emotional state. Like I can't help fix a broken leg. I can't help fix a broken heart. I can't help fix a broken leg, or foot, but I can help people fix their mind. And for 25 years, that's what I've been fortunate to do, is to help people fix part of their thinking. And that part of thinking that prevents them from having their best life, from taking the actions necessary, from following through to doing the things that they know they're supposed to be doing. And so what I get to help people with is two things. One is I get to help people begin to do what they know. So, they say that we know what to do, but we don't do what we know. And so what I get to help people do is begin to do not just what they know, but I begin to help people begin to do what they know. I begin to help people do what they know. But once I begin to help them do what they know, then we get to take the things in which they're doing. So they've got a certain amount of things they know to do. My job is now to bridge the gap, help them do the things that they know. Secondly, is to help them become more efficient. So what I find is two things. One is that people don't take the actions necessary. So one is they don't do what they know. That's one. Two is even if they do, they're doing it wrong or inefficient. So I really like to look at efficiency. So I like to look at how do you not just do what you know, but how do you do what you know so dang well that you're just amazing at it? Like you're just amazing at it. Like you're not just doing what you know, but you're doing what you know in such a way that the rest of society looks and goes, wow, now that's amazing. That's amazing because they're doing it efficiently. And when people are looking to be most efficient, they're not looking to just be productive where they're just producing, because there's a lot of people producing, but they produce a bunch of nonsense. It's just nonsense. So you've got to produce efficiency. And efficiency is what matters most, because otherwise you just spin and spin and go and spin and more spinning and more going and more spinning and more going. And at the end of the day, that's what causes heart attacks. That's what causes divorces, suicide. That's what causes a bunch of nonsense, because people just feel like they're spinning their wheels in their marriage, their fitness, their finance, in their emotional well-being, but they don't feel like they're getting anywhere. And so what I get to do, and the privilege to do, is to help people not just do what they know, but to do what they know more efficiently, So there's less weight on themselves, less stress on themselves, less anxiety on themselves, because they know that they're actually getting somewhere and they're not just spinning, like in the mud. That's nonsense.
No, that's cool, man. I mean, when you're talking about, again, just keep going back to this thing about helping people and that, do you find that people already have like an expectation that's been built when they come to you, or do you sort of like try and help them through and identify that?
I don't even care if they have an expectation. Doesn't matter to me, because people have expectations in everything. That's part of being a human. If we go outside and we look there's an expectation it's going to be sunny, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be snowy, it's going to be this or that. So people come with expectations to me, and I honestly, truly don't care.
That's cool. So what would, saying that, what would your perfect clients, what does that sort of look like for you? Ideally, who are you looking to attract?
My perfect client. My perfect ideal client is somebody that is they're driven and they're hungry. It's, what time did we say? It's 3:34 here in the morning here in Denver. And at 3:34 in the morning, that there's a certain type of individual that I'm going to attract that is going to play this level of game with me. And it's a very rare person. So I'm not looking for the weak. I'm not looking for the meek. I'm not looking for the sucky. I'm not looking for the average. I'm looking for that person that's driven and has got some drive. But let me just put a caveat in that. And the caveat is, I'm not looking for the most successful. I'm not looking for the richest. I'm not looking for the most famous. I think those people, for the most part, many of them suck. And I don't mean that in any bad way, but I just mean most of them, they're not for me. I've never been after that person. I've never been driven after that person. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of very rich friends. I have a lot of very successful friends, but it's never been my client. I've never been attracted. I don't care if the richer get richer. I don't care. I have zero, I would rather die than have concern about whether the richer become richer. I don't care. But I do care about the average and ordinary guy getting richer. I do care about the underdog getting richer. I do care about, that person struggling to get richer, and not just richer financially, but I mean richer in their marriage, richer in their fitness, richer in their emotions, richer in their well-being, richer. I don't care about the people, the guys that go, yeah, I got tons of money, and they show, they spend their whole life showing everything off. I could care less about that person. Zero care. But I do care about the average and ordinary. But I care about the average and ordinary when they have an extraordinary sense of drive and an extraordinary sense of hunger to do these types of things, to get up early, to get after it, to make it happen, to dig in, to dive in.
Do you find
I've never been after the big guy. Couldn't care less about him.
Now that we're getting into Q4, it tends to be that people are almost racing towards the end of the year with the darker nights and everything like that, it tends to be a time where people will start getting a little bit more down because it's not so cheery outside, depending on what part of the world you're in and stuff like that. But they also feel a little bit under pressure to get things done because it's becoming towards the end of the year. How would you go about people or trying to help them to look on it as more of a positive thing rather than a negative thing?
It is a positive thing. There's no negative to it at all. There's no negative to it. It's just a different time of the season. You know, it's like saying the nighttime is different than the daytime. Honestly, if they were blind, nobody would know. You know, people say, oh, it's a bad day. It's cloudy outside. How does Stevie Wonder ever put his days together? He doesn't know if it's sunny, if it's dark, if it's light. He doesn't know. You know, people get caught up in, it's this time of the season and it's the holiday season and it gets darker early and it gets wintry and rainy. And hey, man, I get it. I'm not compassionless, but I'm also realist. You know, I'm also realist that, you know, this isn't like a new thing. This isn't like it's something that just decided to happen because it's COVID season. It's been going on since time has existed. So this isn't some new thing. You know, if anybody is outside of being 1 year old, which I think your audience is probably beyond that, they've probably already acclimated to that, yeah, this is the time of the season that certain things happen. It's darker early, it gets this earlier, that happened. Like if somebody can't acclimate to something that's been happening for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, depending upon how old they are, that, you know, that person's got to look into, you know, something, because it's been happening since time's existed. So it's not a new thing. You know, I think it's time for people to look inside to go, okay, it's that season. How do I best prepare for that season? Oh, it's raining outside. I should probably get an umbrella, a jacket, and some boots. Like, I'm probably not going to go out in my shorts. So I think it's like anything else. You know, if it's 100 degrees outside, you don't go out in your jacket, your umbrella, and your boots. If it's getting darker, it's getting rainier, you're in the UK, it's cloudier, it's grayer, it's whatever it is, prepare. Just prepare. It's not a big deal. It's not this big foreign thing that just decided to happen in 2020. It's been going on forever.
And I mean, actually, we've got a beautiful day here in the UK today, so that's good. Which is just typical, because like we could have come and done this 6 days ago, and you know we'd be talking like storms and rain and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Life is great.
That's it. That's cool. Now, listen. I mean, obviously, the people which come on listen to the podcast, mainly obviously affiliate marketers and stuff like that, and it's not really pitched at like the beginner.
Are in what? One more time on that, Paul.
Sorry, I'm just saying, like the people that listen to the podcast, they are sort of like not your beginners. They tend to be more people which are, they're affiliate marketers. They're starting to get some success, but they're not quite there yet. It's almost like they are still trying to push that rock up the hill. But what I find is there tends to be quite a lot of people which almost get to a point and don't know where to go next, and they kind of like stumble and they stop, and then they start reflecting badly against themselves or the program that they're doing. What would you say to them to try and keep them on point to actually make sure they do push forward to their goals?
Well, what I'd say is, one, the person needs to get up out of bed and to dive in. You know, I've been doing this a long time. This isn't my first rodeo. I've been doing this since 1995. I showed up at Tony Robbins' doorstep in 95. I went to my first seminar with Tony Robbins in 1992. And that's just a whole bunch of years ago. And I see a bunch of crybabies out there in the world. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not being callous, and I just see a bunch of crybabies many times. You know, oh, my affiliate marketing's not going well, and oh, my business isn't going well, and oh, my this isn't going well. What are you doing about it? Well, I ain't doing much. Well, then, dude, don't expect much. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, if you ask anybody, about their network marketing, their affiliate marketing, whatever it is, if you really ask them, I like to look at graphs. I like to look at data. I like to look at metrics. I like to look at things that show. I like to look at things that show where people are at with their life and their business, without having to guess. So if you look now, your audience can't see my screen right now, but if you look at my screen, this is a screen of one of my clients, and he's up right now, right this morning with us right now. I get him going first thing in the morning. Now, granted, he's 2 hours ahead of me, but I still get his ass going. So when he complains about being up at 5, I have no mercy. I have no mercy. But we look at his we look at his results. We look at his evening routine the night before. We look at his morning routine. We look at his progress. We look at where his numbers are at. We look at the metrics. We look at these numbers, and they show you. So I don't have to guess, how are you doing, Bill? We just look at your numbers. When a guy looks at his dad, this guy, he has an area in here, right here, hubby and dad score. He scores himself all the way here, this metric column right here. It says 4.9, 4.9, 4.9, 4.8. These are all between a 0 to 5. 4.2, 4.7, 4.7. We don't have to guess anything. I just look at the numbers and go, dude, you're way off in course. Get on track. So a bunch of people crying and complaining about a bunch of nonsense. But if you really look at metrics, there's nothing at the end of the day to really complain about if the guy's keeping metrics.
Yeah, I get that totally.
Because they can only look at themselves. So my client can't look at me about these numbers. These numbers are his numbers, not my numbers. Those are his numbers. If he wants to have some shitty ass day, like right here, where on Thursday, September 24th, he has a 4.0 as a hubby and a dad score, but then he starts taking it up to 4.7, 4.7, and 4.2, 4.8. That's nothing to do with me. Everything to do with my client. Lets him look right in the mirror at his own eyes and say, dude, step the up. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
That's cool. That's cool. And I love the way that you've actually got that all. I mean, again, people can't see this, but everything is sort of like spelled out. It looks like every part of his life and his business is all there.
This one here is meditate. No food after 7. No screen time after 8. Hydrate. This is the evening routine the night before. So we start the night before, and we have all these metrics. And this one's think and brain dump. This one's meditation. This one is to bed by 10, out of bed by 5 a.m. Like he's like hydrate. I mean, these are things that the guy looks at and goes, I'm either sucking or I'm making things happen. Yeah. So I'm a driver of people's actions. But again, I'm into that underdog guy. And this guy's not an underdog. He's done really well. There's a part of him that is a major underdog. But in terms of business and finance and wealth, he's done very well for himself. But there's areas that he wants to measure, and we make sure that we measure those areas as to not divert blame and to not pivot out of responsibility, which is what a lot of people do. They want to pivot out of responsibility. They want to put it on the economy. They want to put it on some product that they're pitching or promoting. Oh, my product sucks. My pay sucks. My funnel sucks. Like everything sucks. No, dude, honestly, you suck.
And then the cool thing about that is that by doing all that, having all that data and those metrics in that as well, I mean, I always find there's nothing more motivating for me personally as continually reaching goals or growing as a person or growing my business or things like that, hitting those marks. So, and that's something that drives me to it. So I guess by having that data there, you can kind of see where things aren't quite hitting and then things where they are progressing too. Is that how it all works?
Can you say that one more time, Paul?
Sorry, man. Is that, yeah, it could be interference. I was just saying, because you've got all those data points, you can kind of like measure and see where the successes are and where work needs to be done. And obviously for me, it's a great motivator to keep hitting the goals and pushing forward with the business. So is that kind of like how it's all put together for you?
No, not really. This is really just a scorecard. Okay. And I think scorecards are great, but at the end of life, my creator doesn't look at my scorecard. He doesn't care about this thing. So he doesn't care if I wake up at 5 or if I wake up at noon. Yeah. He doesn't care if I hydrate or if I dehydrate. Like, my creator wants to help take care of me, but at the end of the day, he has zero concern about these metrics. He concerns that he's concerned that I'm fulfilled. And so I'm not about, because a lot of people think, oh, get a coach and you'll set goals and hit goals. Who cares? Like, at the end of the day, who cares? Like, oh, you hit your goal. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, great job. Who cares? Are you fulfilled? Are you happy? Are you in a place? Because a lot of people hit goals and they hit metrics and they hit certain milestones and they're unhappy, they're unfulfilled, and they go and they blow their brains out. So at the end of the day, who cares? The only thing that really matters is that person living a fulfilled and a happy life in what it is that they're doing. And I believe that those that are living a happy and fulfilled life, they don't live by this constant, I gotta set goals, I gotta set goals, I gotta set goals, I gotta hit goals, I gotta hit goals, I gotta set goals, I gotta hit goals. Who cares? Are you happy? Do you feel like you're doing all of the things in life that you could be doing, and that when you go, the moment you finally expire, up there, my belief, God just doesn't care if you hit goals, set goals, didn't do goals. It doesn't care. It just cares, are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Did you love? Did you serve? Did you contribute? Did you make a difference? And so at the end of the day, I really truly believe that that's what I get to help people do, not just set and hit goals, because that's kind of an endless nothing. There's nothing there.
I love it, man. I love it. I mean, so if people wanted to take a first step towards getting into your world and your help, what would be the best way for them to begin?
Well, what I'd say is anybody that comes into my direction to do any of that kind of work, they've got to be a certain type of person. They've got to have the drive. That's all I'm looking for, is that person that has the drive. And I'm a private coach. I'm not a public coach. So a public coach takes on the public. I'm a private coach. I take on private clients. So the vetting process that I have with people is not like a normal coaching company will say that, has 50 coaches, and, they have somebody and they're like, oh, we've got money. And they say, oh, great, come on in. Let's assign you to a coach. And that coach is in cubicle 15 and they're wearing badge number 27, and your call will take place at 3. Like, to me, that's called boiler room coaching. They take on everybody. If you have a wallet and you have money in that wallet and you have a credit card and you can give them a card to process, you're in. Not with me. I'm a private coach. So private coach, you screen real clear. Because the last thing for me, my biggest pet peeve is to spend time with the wrong people. That's my nightmare. It's my biggest pet peeve. I can't stand it. I don't like it. I don't want to have any part of it. So the wrong person for me is the person that comes just with their wallet and with their credit card. They're a bunch of nightmares for me. The real true winner is the person that doesn't come with the outer equity called their wallet, but they come with the inner equity called their drive, their commitment, their determination, their ambition, all of those inner equities that one must possess in order to be successful. And a lot of people go, yeah, but I paid my fee. I'm like, yeah, and you suck. Because they thought that if I paid my, few $1,000 coaching fee, it was all going to be a miracle. I'm like, dude, you paid the financial fee. But what about the commitment fee? What about the determination fee? What about the inner equity that's necessary? So, I just don't believe that we're in any lack. Now, we might have a lack of outer equity called money and finances. I personally, truly, honestly, in all fairness, I do not believe that we have any inner equity deficit whatsoever. I don't believe that when we were built that our creator said, well, let's just give a little bit of courage to this one and a whole bunch of courage to this one. I just don't. Let's just give a little bit of discipline to this one and a whole bunch of discipline to this one. I believe that all of us were created equal, and from the sense that we all have the courage, we all have the drive, we all have the inner equity. It's all there. The question is do we have a purpose big enough to pull out that and to pull it to the carpet? And most don't. Most suck.
It obviously sounds like you're really passionate about what you're doing there, man. I mean,
I'm very passionate because it's a very rare. I'm very passionate because it's a very rare breed that makes it to a level of success, but they think that it only takes a little bit of equity, and it takes so much equity. I mean, look, dude. It's 3:55 and you and I we're going.
That's it.
We're going. We're going. And so I am very passionate, and I'm very, very passionate about the people that are in the marketplace that teach my work. I'm really passionate about this because there's a lot of people in my work that teach people the opposite. They teach people the opposite. And I just don't think that we live in a time nor a society where the wrong information needs to be given to the people. People are taking their own lives with their own guns out of their own nightstand. People are taking pills out of their own medicine cabinet, putting them into their own mouth and dropping down those pills. People are knocking and smacking their wives to the ground and beating their kids because they can't handle the disappointments and frustration of today's times. Men and women all over America and the world are drinking themselves to death, literally to death. People are unemployed, going through challenging times, difficult times, and you got coaches and many times out there in the marketplace that tell a whole different story to people. I just don't sugarcoat. I just don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell people what's real, what's true. And there's a lot of coaches out there that suck. And I don't mean that in a harsh way. I don't mean that from a bad way. but this is not a time of society to have people in the market that are giving wrong advice to the right people. Because the right people right now that are going through wrong times, difficult times, they need right information. So a lot of people, as we've mentioned, I've been doing this work for 25 years. I've trained over 3,000 companies all over the world. I mean, I was Tony Robbins' #1 highest income earner, #1 top sales trainer, and all of that stuff. And so there's a lot of people that are going through hard times. And there's coaches that just got, they just got a certificate over the weekend. They went to the Holiday Inn, they paid $149, they got a little certificate, a little badge, and they're called a life coach. They suck. Now they're a life coach that's now going to go give life-altering information to somebody in massive depression. How does that person help? I'm sorry, but yeah, I am passionate.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And that's kind of opened my eyes a little bit there, because you do see it a lot. You do see a lot of people say like, oh, just be 2 chapters ahead and you're suddenly the expert and all this.
Oh my God, it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
It's quite scary, really, isn't it? Especially when you're talking about life coaching, right?
It's very scary to see where that someone is in, that client is in massive depression, or they're suicidal, or they're in some massive drama with their spouse, and they need somebody with real experience, not somebody that just got certified at the Holiday Inn for $149 and they got a little certificate that says life coach, giving out a bunch of wrong information. So I am very passionate. I do take what I do very, very seriously, because people's lives are on the line. People only come to me when their lives are on the line many times. Their financial life, their fitness life, their relationship life, some part of their life, it's on the line. And they don't come to me and go, yeah, my life is awesome and my marriage is incredible. I'm having great sex with my spouse and, I'm making tons of money and like my friendships with people couldn't be better. Oh, by the way, could you coach me? That's not usually the case. It's usually my health sucks, my marriage is sucking, my confidence is eroding. I need some help. So I just think that, those people in today's time have got to find the right person, and not somebody that's going to give them a bunch of lip service and a bunch of smiles about, through. People are in rugged times right now. That's why I get up at, I get up every day at 2:45, and I go to bed late, which is the ironic part.
Yeah, we spoke about this before as well. I was quite interested, thinking, oh yeah, he's probably going to bed at like 7 or 8. But you're still doing it.
I've got 3 kids. Yeah.
It can't be done. It can't be done. Brett, it's been absolutely amazing having you on. I'm going to include some extra stuff into the show notes, but I do want people to go and check out your Facebook group as well. So if you can give a shout out to the actual group name.
Success Accelerators is our group name.
That's it. And that, to give the tagline on it, is where the speed of your success matters most.
Yes, sir.
So that's fantastic, man. And it's good as well. There's amazing stuff in there. I've been going through it the last couple of days as well, ever since I got into the group myself. So as I said before, make sure if you're listening, you do go ahead and check the show notes. I'm going to include a bunch of stuff about Brett in there, and make sure that you have a blessed day. Hey, thanks for listening and for getting to the end. I want to give you free access to all the tools you'll ever need to be a successful affiliate marketer. Just head over to ultimateaffiliatetoolbox.com. My name is Paul Motley, and we'll talk to you again real soon.